Coffee in the morning.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
What's up, Cappuccino? How you doing?
All you gotta do is tune in.
This is the Rumor Report
Cappuccino. Hey, what's happening, y'all?
on The Breakfast Club.
I got you. I'm here today. I got y'all. Coffee in the morning. All you gotta do is just listen. So, Brian McKnight has changed his last name, or actually his name, to match his newborn son's name. And I know you're wondering, well, what is that name? So now he is calling himself Brian, and I hope I'm saying his name right, Kanoa Makoa McKnight Sr. Now, it's caused some issues because, of course, he has a Brian McKnight Jr. already. He has older kids.
Right.
And, you know, it's kind of like, is it that favoritism type of situation going on with Brian McKnight showing so much love to this newborn baby? You know, he said, I'm not ashamed of the name my ancestors had. I'll never change the name my own son has now. We're witnessing an obscene level of self-hate that has reached mental illness status at this point.
I don't know why I got so confused just now.
I know.
He changed his middle name, I guess, to
match
his
the
son's
What
name.
Brian McKnight name before the change?
Brian McKnight.
Just Brian
McKnight, yeah.
Senior.
So he added a middle name to it. To
Two
himself.
parts. The Kanoa Makoa.
Kanoa Makoa. What that mean though?
That's his son's name.
I know, but what it mean?
I
I
don't
want to know
know.
what the
I
Kanoa
don't know.
Makoa mean.
I know I think his wife is Asian or Hawaiian descent, something like that.
Okay.
So, but you know, it's the fact that he has older kids, and it was already an issue anyway with the older kids. But then you just change a name, like, so how do you honor your son who is actually a junior now?
Well, he's still Brian McKnight Jr.
No,
No,
he's Brian.
it's legally.
What's his name?
Legally changed.
Nobody care about middle names unless you care about middle names. You know what I'm saying? Like he when he with his one son, he's Brian Okoa Jr. What is it?
That's not it.
Brian Kanoa.
Kanoa Makoa.
Kanoa Makoa.
Okay, so when he with that son, he's that senior.
Okay.
And when he's
Kanoa
with the
Makoa.
other son, he's just Brian McKnight Jr.
But what do you
Nothing wrong
call
with
both sons? Because they're
Brian.
technically both juniors, and they're both, I mean,
that? They both Brian Jr.
No, they're not Brian. I thought the other son is Kanoa Makoa.
His first
the
name
newborn.
Brian.
I know, it's so confusing.
The
I know.
newborn is not named Brian. The new
No,
name
it's
is
Brian. Brian.
Yeah.
Manoa.
Oh, so they all
something.
Brian. They're like-
all,
they still-
exactly.
Yeah, man.
They're like George Foreman. They
They
name everybody George.
Yes.
Yes, it's just a middle name. They still Brian McKnight Jr., man.
But wouldn't you not be confused if, you know, you're around the house and you call him one Junior or one Brian?
Huh?
Exactly. That's how I feel with that whole thing.
What happened, man? The birds in the trap sing Brian McKnight. That's all I know, man.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, of course, you got MoNique. She's back in the news, y'all, and she's explaining why she is calling her husband Daddy. She recently appeared on a podcast, and she says anyone who has been a fan of MoNique knows that, you know, she always calls her husband Daddy. Some of y'all know that already. Her real husband's name, or her husband's real name, is Sidney Hicks. They've been married for about 17 years. Here's what she had to say as to why she calls him Daddy.
A lot of black women would say, why do you call him daddy? Because he's raising me. My father probably stopped giving me what I needed when I was around 13 years old. So now you got a woman that's 13 and now I'm 35 and now I got a bunch of money. Now I'm taking care of everybody. Who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna make me grow up? He said, when we were best friends and you were married to other men, you were not my responsibility. You were my sister, but not my responsibility. As my wife, you are my responsibility. And there are certain things that will not be tolerated, will not be accepted. My husband has never raised his voice to me. Now, we've been married for 17 years, but best friends since we were 14. And I ain't never seen him have a bad day.
I don't like the term. I know y'all men may like the term daddy, you know, especially in certain moments. I just can't call my husband daddy. I got a daddy.
Yeah, I don't want my wife to call me daddy.
No,
I'm not knocking MoNique and what
Right,
she
I'm
does
not
with her
knocking
man,
that. It's
but
just
nah, I don't
it's
want
a
But
bit
your
different.
wife has a daddy, right?
yes, exactly. So,
Yeah, my wife has
I
a
would never
daddy.
disrespect my wife's father by having my wife call me daddy. And I got kids that call
Right.
me daddy.
They
So
call
that's
me
just
daddy, yeah.
strange.
It's weird.
You know what I
It is.
mean?
Now, that's what I say. I know sometimes, you know, when you're in sexual moments, you know, women may call their men daddy, but I just can't. My husband told me to call him that one day, and I looked at him, I was like, nah, we're
Oh,
not doing that. We're
he
not
asked
doing
for
that.
that?
Yeah, he did. And I was like, we're not doing that.
Was he serious? Or
He was serious.
Okay.
Was it in the moment?
It was in the moment. And
You just killed the moment?
Exactly. My face went straight. I was like, no.
Damn.
But you don't have to have that title daddy to have those same qualities that she's looking for, right? Like a husband's job is to lead and protect and
So is a wife's
provide
job.
both physically and spiritually,
Right.
right? So
But a wife's job is to lead as well.
absolutely. So I'm saying that role is there. You don't have to be a daddy to do that.
No, you don't. That's why I take it a little different from how she says it. I'm like, okay, your dad wasn't in your life, so
Right.
you see your husband. No. because your dad and your husband are literally two different roles.
Correct.
Big roles. And I that always sat weird with me when I hear people calling their husbands daddy. That's just me, though. Whatever floats your boat now.
Yeah, right.
So that's with that. So your man JayZ says he doesn't like watching old videos of himself. He was saying how when it comes down to looking at old videos, he looks back and he's like, I was guarded. He says that Hype, as in Hype Williams, definitely had a vision for what he wanted to see in videos. He says, but I don't think I was coachable as far as performance at that time. I don't know if anyone could coach me because I was so guarded. I think about the early videos that I have and I listen to myself talking, and it's kind of hard for me to watch. You had people like DMX and Nas who became actors, and he says because of him being guarded, he didn't want to come off, I guess, not cool when it came down to acting. What do y'all think about that?
I think I seen JayZ. Didn't JayZ act in something before that I thought was pretty good in one of those movies?
He was never good in acting. Come on, stop.
Wasn't one of the movies?
It was in all of the like the Paper Soldiers. It was one of them. He was in Paper Soldiers. He was in Death of a Dynasty.
Definitely.
Remember in Paper Soldiers he called to hit on the dude and he was doing pig Latin. He was like Itsnay on the Itsnay or something like that.
I don't remember.
I mean, it's not like he was really acting though. He was being JayZ.
He was being JayZ.
He was being the version of JayZ that we knew then, like the too cool for school.
And that's what
individual.
it was.
Very
he was saying,
sarcastic,
he wouldn't be seen as being cool had he done some acting back then. But I'm like, when Nas and DMX started, they weren't that great of actors either.
X was good.
X was good.
Was he though?
Yes, X was good in Belly.
I was gonna say certain
cool.
movies, Belly.
No, X was great in Belly. Yeah,
Yes.
X was good.
See, I love Belly, so it's hard. Like Belly was great to me. You
I
know
thought
what I mean?
Nas was good in Belly
Nas
too,
was
but
okay.
the X was great in Belly.
But my favorite line from Nas, "Hey, yo, T,
I got
we
shot.
going to Africa."
Oh no, yeah,
That was it. That was it.
No, the other one. Yo, when you walk in the house, yo T, I got shot. You got shot? Where? I got shot.
That was great acting for Nas. Okay.
He had no emotion about being shot whatsoever. Salute to Nas. I saw Nas this weekend, man.
They did.
I actually started to stay in Vegas on Saturday just to see Nas and Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nas.
But I didn't.
dope.
I wanted to though. Salute to Nas and I saw RZA too this weekend actually.
Now, speaking of Vegas, Charlamagne
Nas
was
came out at the Usher show.
Yeah, he came out in the Usher show. I seen Charlamagne and his wife went out to see Usher over the weekend.
It was a date night. Yep.
Date night, and we talked about it up here. If he ever went, Usher would serenade his wife, and Charlamagne said that he would join. It would be like a threesome on stage.
Okay, on stage.
It wasn't on stage because he comes into the crowd. He's a terrorist. Terrorists come to you.
But we
don't bring you on stage. He comes to you.
We have audio.
Oh.
Must I remind you, don't leave your girl around me. Charlamagne.
Oh,
Not him calling you out though.
Somebody said that you. Whoa. You know I'm free. Yo, we a group like you. We a group like you. Wherever he sees you.
Terrorist, man. Terrorist. And not only did Usher sing to my wife, he gave my wife a dozen roses.
wow.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that you flew back home alone.
That's not true.
No.
Wait, no, that's why he didn't go to see Wu-Tang and Nas, because he was hurt. He was heartbroken
He was
as to what
heartbroken.
happened at
My
that Usher
wife took the
concert.
roses and passed them right off to Dolly, our good sister Dolly. Passed them right off. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you how much of a terrorist Usher is. He went from my wife to Doja Cat, who was clearly there with a guy. I don't know if that was her dude, but he didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Then Jessica Alba was sitting behind me. He went to Jessica Alba, started singing to her. She's married. Then he had the nerve to look at J-Lo and say, I don't want no smoke with Ben Affleck. Well, what you want smoke with me for, Usher? Okay?
He think you soft.
What you
did.
want smoke with me
think you
for?
Wait, I just want a visual. Like, what was your face when he came over to you and your wife? What was your face
Oh,
like?
we got footage. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you.
Oh, we got that
I
too?
just found it.
I'll
I
show
found
it
it amusing. I was amused.
He was calling Usher back. Come back over here. He tried to grab Usher's
I did.
hand.
I
He tried to grab his
I grabbed
hand.
Usher's
See how
hand. He
soft
let it
it
go.
was.
They were all trying to do a handshake. He tried to grab the
I
pinky.
tried to grab Usher's hand. He let
Did you
it go
try to interlock
fast.
the fingers?
No, I just tried to hold on to his hand, then he let it go because he had to do the little R&B thing when he throw his hand up. Somebody said your girlfriend looking for me, or whatever the hell it was. You know what I mean? But salute to Usher, king of R&B, and it's not even close.
You're a little upset. You okay?
No, man, it's part of Usher's show. I love it, king of R&B.
Okay.
All right, when we come back, we got front page news. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.